Hi friends, Ashley Leppert here, author of The Hurricane Within, Volume 1 and 2. Take a moment and head on over to genevalentino.com and subscribe so you can get all the latest podcasts from Grassroots Truthcast. See you later, friends.
Throughout history, the spirit of patriotism has prevailed. The battles may have changed, but the values remain the same. Today, in 2024, we find ourselves at a pivotal moment where the call for unity, freedom, and a better future echoes louder than ever. For more than 10 years, Patriot Mobile has been committed to supporting the values that make our nation great. With affordable plans and reliable nationwide coverage, Patriot Mobile is not just a wireless service. It's a call to action for those who believe in the American dream. Because this year is not just any year, it's the most important year since our nation's founding. Choose a wireless carrier that shares your values. Choose Patriot Mobile.
Gene Valentino, the Velvet Hammer, is joining us on last minute call-in, and I appreciate you, Gene, for doing that. Good morning.
Sipping a coffee from Studio B. You all cut me some slack now. I get the jumper cables. I'll be up to speed in 60 seconds. You go ahead, lead this thing.
Oh, I see that. And it's always good to have you. There's so much going on. It's just amazing the things that are happening. One of the things that really has disturbed me is the psyop that these 6 Congress people, some senators, some congressmen have been perpetuating on the military and insinuating that there's illegal stuff going on out there that you guys might want to look at. And, let me ask you something, Gene. I was in the military. I was a private first class at my highest rank. Do you think that a private first class who is about 20-ish, maybe 21 years old, do they have the ability to sort of look at the Constitution and decide, hey, this is an illegal order. I don't think I'm going to follow this. And in fact, I didn't want to go to Afghanistan anyway.
You're faced with a desperation of bad behavior on the part of the Democrat Party and some of the further left on the Democrat Party who cannot disrupt the tsunami of success by Donald Trump and everything he's doing. Donald Trump has outwitted and outmatched these activists on the Democrat side that are trying to save a position for themselves politically. They're doing it at the expense of you and me. And my concern is this: on this wonderful holiday where we're supposed to be saying thanks to our family and friends and showing gratitude for all that is so important in our lives, we see a disruptive group that's trying to put me in front of we. We see, for example, a disconnection, a bifurcation of rights and the execution of justice that is inconsistent and not tempered in a way that has caused us all these problems. What do I mean? Michael, just this morning, one of my producers has slipped something into my inbox just before we went on the air, and I have to confirm it, but I trust it's true. She's been spot on 100% of the time. The Department of Justice has just announced that they have created a new office or agency in government supporting the Second Amendment rights. It's an office in the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice, and it's opening December 4th in Washington under the auspices of Attorney General Pam Bondi. Why do we need an office of civil rights and Second Amendment protection? Might it be that we're seeing a disconnect in the blue states, the sanctuary cities, and states around this nation that have gone off the rails in their inability to properly enforce the laws of the land. Complicated, fermented by a justice system that looks the other way on rights and the punishment related to that. Now we have a Sarah West in Minnesota. She overturned the guilty verdict in Hennepin County, Minnesota, a $7.2 million verdict. Okay, there's criminals who have been indicted or charged 70 plus times for felony wrongdoings and still being put back out on the street to do their wrongs in this nation. We have a situation now where we've got to come together as a nation and make sure if the local and state governments cannot do it or won't do it because of the incursion or the insurrection of non-Americans coming in to run local government, then it is the mandate of the federal government to step in and run local government with a strong hand, and impose themselves on local government when foreign adversaries find their way into taking down our nation from within by controlling our local governances at the local level. You asked me about it's the War Powers Act and the Justice Department and the criminal. You asked me about the military and their overreach with these congressmen and women who are putting out this video. You know, there's a place in military justice. The military rules of justice are not as forgiving as allowing someone with 72 felonies back out on the street. In the military law, if you are held to such a higher standard because the commander-in-chief is the commander-in-chief. He must ensure the protection of this nation. Our Constitution demands, whether you like Joe Biden or not, whether you like Donald Trump or not, our Constitution demands that we put a commander-in-chief in place to protect us when we are stupid and refuse to protect ourselves. And that's what's happening here. No wonder Congressman Ezell needs a break. He's the poor guy is probably running 24/7, and I'm honored to take his spot this morning. I can go on, but I have a few more tidbits to share with you, but I will tell you right now, don't be misled, folks. There is a role for the federal government to step in and protect us at the state level, at the local level. That's why we have these tiers of authority in our nation, because sometimes we just get damn stupid at one level or another, and it's these tiers of government that protect autocrats, dictators, self-serving globalists like Putin over in Russia from taking control of the nation unilaterally. I'm very proud of the fact. Go ahead.
No, we saw, this very something similar that happened back in the 1860s, and I feel like there's a neoconservative movement out there that is saying that the federal government has no authority to tell us we can't do this and we can't do that with regard to maybe illegal immigrants. We want them here. We want them to stay. We want them in our cities and counties, and we want them to be counted for the census so that we continue to have our representation in Congress. I mean, it's almost as if it's a neoconservative movement. I mean, Confederate movement.
Shame on us if we allow us to be eaten from within by people half our age who can't spell Constitution, let alone understand it. And we have to step up and we're doing that on so many levels at lightning speed. The least we can do is cut Trump some slack. We're into 11 months now of his term of office, and look at how much has been accomplished. And uh, hey, let me read you an opinion from a former judge out of California. I was given this by my father years ago. This was written in 1954, the year after I was born. I hate to say that, but that's so 1954. Judge Keith Alber from California wrote the following: I am a student of law uh, whose age is 85. My first year of college was 68 years ago. This is 1954. My first year of college was 68 years ago. One class I took was political science. A half page of my textbook essentially outlined a few steps on how to overturn a democracy. Here's what it said. Number one, divide the nation philosophically. Is that happening now?
Yeah.
Number two, foment racial strife. Is that happening now? Number three, cause distrust of police authority. Is that happening now?
That's definitely happening.
Number four, swarm the nation's borders indiscriminately and unconstitutionally. Is that happening now?
Definitely.
Engender the military strength to weaken it. Is that happening now? Overburden citizens with more unfair taxation. Is that happening now? Encourage civil rioting and discourage accountability for all crime. Is that happening now?
100%.
Number eight, control all balloting. Is that happening now? And
Pretty
number
much.
nine, control all media. We saw a story yesterday or a few days ago about this control of the rule of the FCC limiting up to now 39% the control of any one media group in a given market area. And what Mr. Judge Keith Alber goes on to say is that what was printed in 1954 as a possible diabolic nightmare has become an emerging reality. I hope America is strong enough to take heed and to correct the wrong before it goes too far. Now, this was written in 1954, and here we are, November 2025, and we have the same exact concerns. It's up to us, folks, to turn the tide and to right the wrongs at the local level. The difference between us and all other nations of the world is that we are a bottom up. That means we, the people, run government. And if you choose not to vote, if you choose to stay ignorant, if you refuse to participate in local government and provide your 2 cents and contribute to this thing we call a constitutional republic, which runs a concept, an earlier concept called a democracy, then it's on you. Don't blame anyone else but yourself if you fail to step up and help this government survive. Now, Donald Trump deserves a figure in stone on one of the Grand Canyon walls somewhere, like Mount Rushmore. I've been saying it. I pray to God, congressmen like Mike Ezell, do something about it, because we need this man honored for what he has done literally overnight that, frankly, you and I cannot and have not done. Now, we need people like Donald Trump throughout this nation to step up and be worker bees to protect the hive. We need all of them, all of us, to step up and improve this nation, our mistakes, and that's why I'm so grateful and thankful on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to talk about Donald Trump for a minute, and I wanted to bring this to your attention. And you may have already recognized this, but you have to mention this. Donald Trump invited Mondami or Mamdani, however you say the guy's name. He invited him to the White House, and I was wondering, what is he doing? Why is he doing this? Why is he meeting with a communist? With a guy who is a Marxist and he's the antithesis of everything that Donald Trump stands for. And then not only that, he invites him to the White House and he treats him like he's some kind of king. And he talks nice to him and he can't keep his hands off of him, touching him, telling him what a great guy he is and all that stuff. And I'm scratching my head going, what is Donald Trump? Many of you may have done the same thing. And then bam, when it's over with, what does Donald Trump do? He says, this guy is the head of the Democrat Party. And that made me realize exactly what that was all about. Now, this guy, no matter what happens in New York City, he is going to be responsible for anything that happens in the Democrat Party, period. He has been pegged as the leader of the Democrat Party. And even some of the Democrats have said, well, I don't know. I don't know if he's the leader of the party or not. You had Hakeem Dial-Up Jeffries, who absolutely didn't want to admit to that and said there's other people that are leading the party. And then you've got, the situation there with the leader of the Senate, Chuck U. Schumer. And so they're asking all these guys, who's the leader? And now it looks like the communist is the leader of the Democrat Party. And whatever happens in New York is going to be blamed on the Democrat Party. And it's not going to be good because Donald Trump knows what's about to happen. What say you?
When you have an enemy abroad, you know their posture, their position, and it's easy to characterize them. But when you have an enemy from within, you have to make sure you identify it clearly. It reminds me of a cancer operation, and you're removing something of bad from your body. You don't want the doctor taking out good stuff at the same time. You want just the bad cancer removed. And so what Trump is doing now is making a clear identity and distinction for you to see what needs to be removed. I could keep in the back of my mind, I'm tormented many times, Michael, with these questions about the adversary. I've got to come back to the notion of you and me and millions of people in this nation who failed in their responsibility to vote and to keep these bad elements out of government in the first place. If we, the voters, don't step up and assume our responsibility to fixing things, we just heard a comment from the gentleman you had on just prior, talking about really no opposition, whether Democrat or Republican people are coming back in, means that there's very little attention given to these races or these positions. We need stewards to step up, good contributors to the community, and sometimes that means a competitive nature so that the best information comes forward for you, the voter, to choose from. That's not always the case in government. We've got to make sure we have the best people serving us. So what I say is it's as much a concern about you and me, the voters, so that we have these stewards called elected officials coming in to represent us. And that's what I'm concerned about most of all. Donald Trump, what he did with Mamdani is bring the enemy closer. Keep your friends close, your enemies closer, it said. Well, he's doing that by getting closer to Mamdani so that he can let him know, you socialist nut, if you want me to promote getting you any money in New York City, here are some of the things you're going to have to address. And that's the only thing he can do from afar.
Yeah, we got to go. We got about 5 seconds left. But he also has shut him up. He shut him up, Gene. He's not saying anything anymore about Donald Trump. It's funny. Thank you for joining us.
Always a pleasure. Thanks for having me. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thank you. And happy Thanksgiving to you and Maureen and all your family as well.
7:52. Good morning. The Wednesday for Turkey Day. Michael and Ted, and we've had a great lot of guests this morning. We'll get an update on Michael's weather in a moment.
So I enjoyed that. That was very good. Thank you for hanging in there. I had to get Frank. He's our regular on Wednesdays.
Yeah, I didn't want to interfere.
But I appreciate you hanging out because I wanted to get some other things in, and I'm glad we did.
It's providential. You know, I'm in about 1 hour, I got a guy flying in to take a look at buying my airplane.
Oh, good. I know. I guess you're ready to get rid of that one now. What are you going to do with all that hangar and everything in there? What's up with that?
That's a $10 million question. I spent a lot of money building this beautiful hangar, and it's going to be empty because the next
Why
plane
don't you get you a plane like Jimmy Buffett had and take that bad boy and keep it in the hangar? It'll fit.
Yeah, it would. That's true.
Hey,
I'll
look,
think
Buffett had a cool plane, man. He used to come to Pascagoula and he would land in the back bay back there and his buddies would come pick him up and he'd go downtown and go drinking. I'm not kidding. He did it all the time. He had a lot of friends he went to school with that were from Pascagoula. And
really?
Yeah, he would fly there and just unannounced, he'd fly into the back. There's a dock back there behind a company called Pavco, and he would park there. He had permission, and he would park there, and his friends would come pick him up, and they'd go downtown and go drink, and you never knew what Thursday or Friday night Buffett was going to be downtown just goofing off.
Oh, my words. That was another chapter.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
buddy.
anyway, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy. Best to you, buddy.
All right, bye.
Throughout history, the spirit of patriotism has prevailed. The battles may have changed, but the values remain the same. Today, in 2024, we find ourselves at a pivotal moment where the call for unity, freedom, and a better future echoes louder than ever. For more than 10 years, Patriot Mobile has been committed to supporting the values that make our nation great. With affordable plans and reliable nationwide coverage, Patriot Mobile is not just a wireless service. It's a call to action for those who believe in the American dream. Because this year is not just any year, it's the most important year since our nation's founding. Choose a wireless carrier that shares your values. Choose Patriot Mobile.